Hi there friends, I wanted to do this video since forever, but first I needed to finish all 10 of my tanks on this racking system. Now they are done, so it's the perfect time for a room tour. Actually I also have another room, but you will see. Let's get going. I will start with my aquascaping desk. All of my projects were born here. This one doesn't have CO2, but to speed up the growth, I will probably add a do-it-yourself CO2 system. But first, I will need to do a new sugar and yeast cocktail. All of my scapes have a nice start because of this Chihiro's Shadow RGB, and after a quick evolution, when they are stable enough, they are moved to the racking system. For instance, this one will go right on the top. Near the scaping desk, I also have another shelf with light, some moss propagation containers and some carpeting plants as well. It's nice to always have fresh and clean plants. And now the exciting part. Here on the bottom we have the small cube and the 236p aquascapes. We'll start with the Brazilian one. It has a cheap low lighting system, CO2 addition. For the filtration I have a small Eden canister filter and 6 Rasbora maculata with some Neocaridina shrimps bring life and color to this aquascape. Adding a sponge to the intake acts as a pre-filter and also protects the shrimp's baby to get inside your filter. Not all the tanks have CO2, next one is a low tech. The only aquarium that is overcrowded. I have tons of CPDs, keeping them since they were priced, but I will take them out now. Hopefully this way the blue Neocaridina shrimps will have babies again. CO2 system doesn't work, I just keep the diffuser inside to be soaked. Initially this was a no filter setup, but later I had to add a small hang on the back filter, and right now it's such a great ecosystem. I don't need to do water changes, I only top off the tank with water from time to time, and that's it. The nature style aquascape with a CKM filter and CO2 addition, but with a low light. I have about 6 fish and tons of cherry shrimps. The problem with my aquascape is that I don't have a skimmer for each one of them, so I have to move around my skimmer from a tank to another, but about 5 minutes a day it's enough to clear out the scum in each tank. Not all of them are affected every day. This is my Dutch tank. Dutch wannabe because it's not actually a true Dutch, more like a farm tank. I needed a dedicated farm tank for my brownie ghost. This tank has a bigger canister filter, a othe Biomaster 600 with pressurized CO2 inline diffuser. Unfortunately it isn't stable yet, I still have some plant melting and other issues. I love to feed the fish and watch them eating. Have you ever seen my food grinder method? And now the big cube. I haven't made a video about each of these tanks, but there is a video on my channel about this Dragonstone Arcane cube. It has about 9 fish, pressurized CO2 addition. We also have this Chihiro's C2 unit that works at 50% of power. That Sansan hang on the back filter gets the job done. This tank had the worst possible start. I had to remove all the plants to do a major algae fight. But now that it's clean, I think it will work just fine. Algae are gone now and the fish are happy. Let's see how it will evolve second time around. Hopefully no more algae or other issues. I worked for this hardscape so much. This one on the other hand, it's a very simple hardscape. Here I have 10 or maybe 11 green neon tetra, and a big crew of catfish and orange neocaridina to clean the tank. As you can see, the carpet was a bit neglected. The whole aquascape actually. There are green algae on the stones, so I have a lot of brushing to do. When you put up too much the trimming of your carpeting plants and you don't vacuum it often enough, it gets in a poor shape, just like this one, and sometimes you need to replant everything, start it over. I will probably replant just here and there, but most likely I will have to pull everything out and do a small restart of this scape. This is my second 45p aquascape. It will remain hidden until I have enough time to post the video about it. But it's by far the one of my best aquascapes. These two tanks have a single twin star light unit, but each one of them have a canister filter and CO2 addition. And now on the top of the shelf I have place for another aquascape here, just as small as these two. Let's start with my beta aquascape. You most likely remember this aquascape. It was my first video on the channel. What's special about it is that I build all my hardscape, or most of my hardscape, on the edge of the tank, just on the glass, not inside the aquarium. And it's a very stable aquascape. I don't have to do water changes. I just top off the water and that's it. Add some food. Just as stable as this one is my no filter bowl. Here, if you remember, I had some guppy fries and small shrimps, but now they are quite big. It's a great ecosystem, which is useful because here on the top of the shelf my access is limited. Just to have an idea, it's about 50 centimeters away from the ceiling, so it's good that I don't have to do big maintenance and water changes. And here where the terracotta pots are and this piece of hardscape, it's enough place for my third tank. The one that is on my aquascaping desk will go up here after it's stable enough. To do maintenance up here it's a little hard, I need a ladder for that. Let's go in the living room now. My wife won't say hi because she's a little camera shy. We'll start with my farm tank. It's not an aquascape, it's just a simple aquarium for my guppies and for plant growing. As you can see, it's a little overcrowded, but I have a good filtration, CO2 addition. Here is a small sneak peek of my next project. It will also be a simple aquascape, only a few hardscape elements, but they are quite imposing, so I think it will look very nice. But for now it's just a plan. On this cabinet I had my 4 feet competition aquarium, but unfortunately I decided to sell it because I don't have time for competition aquascape at the moment. Hopefully in the future. This is my 3-foot tank. It's also a farm for now, but I will escape it soon after we come back from our vacation. Right now I just keep fish and plants and other things that I need a temporary home. Both of these two tanks in my living room have a othe Biomaster 600 canister filter, pressurized CO2, so my tank is minimal. I just let them be until I have time for them. In the bigger one I had my riparium. If you missed that, just click it and watch.